Hello everybody, welcome back to World of Warship Blitz. This is either the first or the second of the videos on the Pan-Asian destroyers, depending on which order I put the videos out in. Two destroyers arrived in my press account mailbox, the Tier 6 Fushan, which I've already done the video for, and then the Shenyang, which is the Tier 4. So let's go have a look at some stats, shall we? So, because the first thing I do is I go and upgrade them. I've gone and done that with all the destroyers, so we're doing a comparison against upgraded destroyers. Now, fortunately, it'll be quick because there are only 4 destroyers rather than the numerous destroyers that I had to filter through with the Tier 6. Right, so there's some, well, let's have a look at the ship info, because that actually tells us quite a bit, because the Pan-Asian destroyers are usually sourced from somewhere else. This is a Minakaze class destroyer, which probably is going to give us a clue as to how it's going to look. Unfortunately, I don't have the Minakaze in the press account, so I can't do a direct comparison. Well, I can do a direct comparison. Let's go add the Minakaze to the mix, shall we? We'll do that after. Right, okay, then let's do a tier comparison rather than a cross-tier comparison. Right. Now I'm back on track. Let's have a look. Hit points 10,000. So it's got 5, 10, 5, 5, 10, 3, 3, which is likely to be the same across all the destroyers. I haven't looked, but it's basically got 10,500 hit points. Izyaslav has about 10,500 hit points and exactly the same protection bonuses. Exactly the same protection bonuses, but the Izakaze has a lot less hit points, 1,000 less, which is damn near 10%. And the Clemson has less than 10% as well. So the Shenyang actually is a pretty tough ship for the tier. Right, maneuverability. Let's go have a look at the maneuverability. 39 knots. That's a good speed. It isn't Minakaze based, isn't it? It's got a turn time of 3 seconds, 9.6 degrees per second. I won't really worry about the acceleration. Well, 10 seconds to full speed. Right, can I remember all 4 numbers? Okay, so it's 4 knots faster than the Izyaslav. It takes a little bit longer, but hardly anything to get to full speed, I think. And the max traverse speed, it's got slightly better, but a slower turn time. It compares pretty favourably from a speed perspective against the Izakaze. Actually, just to let you guys know that I know I've got the ship speed, so the ship speed is slightly enhanced as well, because obviously I've selected the bonus, so which means that 39 is probably closer to 38 or 37.5 or something. But anyway, still that 39 versus the Clemson's 34, so it's certainly faster than the Clemson, the Izakaze. So it's the fastest Tier 4 destroyer. I should probably bring the German destroyers into the mix as well, shouldn't I? One of the complications of life. Right, okay then. Tech tree, I didn't want to purchase, I wanted to research. That's the one that I wanted. And we'll do some upgrading so we can do a like-for-like comparison. Right, let's go compare it with the, right, and let's go compare notes. So, right, maneuverability and survivability, and we'll compare it with the V170. So, more hit points than the V170, faster speed. Slightly slower turn time, and probably looks like equivalent max traverse speed. Okay. Guns. 127mm guns, which is pretty standard for a destroyer. 6-second reload time, 7-kilometer range. I'll look at the HE damage. So the HE damage and the AP damage are so close that why would you use the AP would probably be my question, but I'm sure in the comments people will explain why, and I'll be duly educated. However, let's go have a look at, well, there is the gunboat at Tier 4, I think, is actually the Clemson. No, maybe not. Okay, so the Clemson at 8 seconds reload, 7 kilometers range, and 291 damage is actually a lot less of a gunboat than this. The Izyaslav is the gunboat. Yes, here we go. No, it's got faster reload time, shorter range, and main battery HE. The Podvoysk is where the Russian gunboat line comes into its own. The Izyaslav is sort of like a transition ship from the rather terrible tier 2s and 3s of the Russian destroyer line. Still, with only a 2-second chance of setting a fire compared to the 4-second chance of setting a fire, the Shenyang has pretty good guns. To be honest, I'll compare it with the V170 for completeness. The V170 has much better AP damage, but much worse HE damage. 7-kilometer range, or 7.3, which is pretty good, 5-second reload time. So the V170 has got a good guns against destroyers. One of the things to watch that I found with the Fushin, which I'll point out, is the chart traverse speed wasn't great. And the chart traverse speed here is 10 degrees per second as opposed to the Clemson. Okay, well, guess what? Tier 4 is a different era, isn't it? So just watch that gun traverse speed, because you will find that you potentially will outturn your guns. Right. Okay. That's guns. Torpedoes. Let's go have a look at torpedoes. It's a pity we can't fit everything on. No, we can't fit everything on. Right. Okay then. 42-second reload time, pretty good for tier 4, pretty typical for tier 4, should I say. 3,400 damage, 6-kilometer range, which is pretty good, and 65 knots, pretty fast. They are deep water torpedoes, so they will not hit the destroyers. Let's go compare that with the Izakaze, which has 39-second reload, very fast, less torpedo damage, what looks like the same range, 6.3 versus 6.3. And slightly slower torpedoes. So the Shenyang, apart from the fact that its torpedoes can't damage destroyers, is the torpedo boat at tier 4. It has taken the crown off the Izakaze. So it has 3 times 2 tubes, so it's exactly the same laid out as the Izakaze, which, bear in mind, it's Minakaze based, is probably not too far wrong. Okay, the Clemson, yeah, well, those torpedoes, okay, it's superior to the Clemson in every respect, apart from the fact that the torpedoes in the Shenyang can't hit the Clemson. Okay, the V170. V170 has incredible reload time, not bad range, not bad speed, but still not as good as the Shenyang. Do I really have to do this? Okay. You had enough time to look at that. So basically, 3.9 kilometres says it all. With the Izyaslav at tier 4, if you're using your torpedoes, something's gone horribly wrong. Right, okay. Or something's gone horribly right. Okay, surface detection, 5.82 kilometres. Let's go compare that with the Izakaze. So the Izakaze has better surface detection. In fact, the surface detection of the Shenyang looks to be the worst of the tier 4 destroyers by far. Okay, but then again, you can't get concealment modules, so there's not really much you can do to mix it up. You can't get historical camo with this, so there's not really much you can do to mix it up. So you can get high-grade coal or high-grade ore, and you can bring that down by 3%. So the surface detection is not wonderful. So the torpedo range is 6.3 kilometres. The surface detection is 5.82 kilometres, reduced by 3%, which is, I'm not going to do the math, but we'll find, I'm not going to do the math. Okay, I'm not going to do the math. Right, I'm just going to go and find out what it is. We might as well kit ourselves out for a match. Okay. So, surface detection, as I was saying, surface detection is now, well, okay then. Yeah, not great. So that surface detection of 5.82 kilometres with a 6.3 kilometre range torpedo range means that you can stealth fire. You have a 0.5 kilometre ring. It will require a bit of manoeuvring. I don't think you get any special skills. get engine accelerator. So there's no smoke screen, so there's no get out of jail card. Right, okay, let's go kit this thing out. I think from my experience we'll need that because it isn't a... Well, basically guns are all you've got against other destroyers. We'll kit out that. And I think, bear in mind that I have a traverse, I'll probably go with this. Now normally if I'm tier 6 and above I go with concealment, but yeah. There is no camouflage that comes with it. I can use one of these camouflages to try and improve the ship. But that's not going to give you a fair look at the ship. Do I have a commander lying around? I have this guy. Do I want to assign him to the ship? Realistically, would you be putting a destroyer commander in a tier 4 ship? Let's go no. Okay, so time for a random battle, a tier 4 random battle. I'm not going into battle versus AI, I'm not going into safe mode. I would say what can go wrong, but based on what I did with the Fushin, we can do an incredibly poor showing. So, oh, by the way, it does get some missions, but those missions are play 5 battles, win 5 battles, and you get yourself 50Ks worth of silver, which, to be fair, you could just go out in the Cleveland probably. In 5 battles you would have, you know, in a different ship you would have definitely made that 50,000. But anyway, it's a good if you're having to grind to the tier 5, because I'm assuming that the main line will be released. If history's anything to go by, potentially I would say that they're likely to release up to tier 8 and then tier 9 and 10 follow on. Right, okay, let's go and find out how we do. Well, there's a lot of tier 4s out today. Hopefully none of those are carriers because I didn't look at the AA, but I'm guessing that if there's a theme going with Pan-Asians, it's probably uninspiring. The Huanghai, by the way, is the premium cruiser, has pretty good AA, but the Anshan, yeah, not really. And the Fushin definitely didn't have very inspiring AA. It's a centre control, good that I've got that acceleration, pity I didn't pick the commander. Right, okay, let's go and have a look. And I didn't compare it with the Menakaze, did I? I'm sorry, guys. Leave a comment and I can do a supplementary video, but I'm not going to go back and compare it with the Menakaze. Now, wow, look at that. I have engine accelerator, so we're up to 40.4 knots, not 44, 40.4. Let's get inside the target area, capture the target area. Please, this time, guys, just get inside the target area. Don't be like the last lot. Don't park outside. You're allowed to step on the paintwork. Right, let's go have a look at these torpedoes. Nice widespread. That's what I like. Oh, it's 2 launches of 3. Which is good, because that's a good smash out of damage, but it means that you hardly... I prefer the Menakaze's loadout, because especially if I couldn't target destroyers. If I could potentially target destroyers, I think this would be nice. I'm going to be detected very shortly by this bomber, and it's going to say, okay, that's a Yubari. Yeah, those enemy aircraft didn't really like me. You can see my... Oh, hello. That's an Exeter. Oh, I've got cruisers. Oh, okay, then something's fired torpedoes at me. Okay, Mr. Oh, wow, my torpedoes are taking a long time to get around. Right, that's a bit of a problem. Let's get some acceleration going. He's getting out of dodge. He's learned about new deep... Oh, what's that? Here's a Kazi. There's no point in trying to torpedo that. What's this? This is Britannia. Brilliant. Let's just... okay, then. Let's just let a couple rip here. Okay, hopefully this is a Kazi as... Oh. Wouldn't it be ironic? Oh, yeah, nice guns. Okay. Let's assume he's fired his torpedoes. You always assume the last thing that... Oh, 2 hits against that Britannia. 18 seconds to reload. Oh, that new... I'm getting the aircraft carriers really going to town here. Okay. So we'll cut across in front of the New York. Our torpedoes have reloaded. Where's that Exeter? Let's go and have a look and see what's going on inside New York City. Okay then, yeah, sorry New York, you've got a bit of a problem coming on. Okay, that's a healthy amount of damage. What's this guy? Man, Tier 4, those gun ranges at Tier 4. I'm well inside the circle and I can't shoot. Okay. How's my health looking? Can I afford to mix it up with this? Oh, mate. Okay. And the other one. Oh, okay, then the other one's not here. Okay, he's outside the zone. So, if I'm going for the... What's our battleship doing? Oh, the Exeter. The Exeter is over there entertaining himself with our battleship and our carrier. I don't think they really need any help. I mean... Oh... No, that Exeter's well and truly on his last legs. Okay. Okay, right. So the Izakazi's gone. That's a Mutsuki, which has fantastic torpedoes, but a really crappy reload, so he's not going to use them long range against the destroyer. Okay. Well, we're reasonably threatening. What's this? Oh, the Britannia. Oh, okay then. Oh, yep. So what I'm going to do with this Britannia is be a little bit canny. Oh, I'm detected. Okay, I'm going to assume that okay, we're going to take a chance here, do or die. Let's just maximise our chances of success. We're going to pop around this side of the island and see if we can give that Britannia a bit of a seeing to. Oh, here he goes. He knows what's his guns doing. Okay then. Oh, they're sort of half there and half there. Okay then. Okay then. Well, there's not much for me to do there, is there? So out here somewhere is a carrier. There. And I definitely have a bone to pick with you, Mr. Carrier, because I must admit to feeling quite distressed about the way that you were dealing with me before. Okay, then we'll just keep here. Yubari is pretty dangerous. Oh, if one of those torpedoes hits his history, and it does. Right, I don't think we're going to get 28 seconds remaining. Okay, you get away with this time, Mr. Carrier. I don't know where that Mutsuki's gone, but if he captures the capture circle, there's nothing much for it. I've been detected, so he must be within range. Let's put a turn on. Nice, I think he's over here because I can see some torpedoes. Oh no, it was aircraft detecting me. Okay then, well it was a Tier 4 destroyer with good torpedoes. Yeah, so if that's the Pan-Asian line, what's my impression? Well, it's sort of, I don't really know what to say, to be fair. It's a reasonably good ship for Tier 4. Tier 4 destroyers never really inspired me, but with those hard-hitting torpedoes, it actually has made it worthwhile. I mean, otherwise, you've got to be careful of other destroyers. I'm surprised those other destroyers didn't step in, but then again, I was surrounded by friendlies at most of the match. Average damage, only 1 kill, so middle of the pack, but hey, we got the capture zone, we held the capture zone. 7 main battery hits, 8 torpedo hits, probably says it all. It's torpedo destroyer, I think, after all. Yeah, so 1400 main battery damage for 22,000 torpedo damage. So make sure that you're always using those torpedoes, guys, and you should do well. Anyway, I hope you found that educational for the Shenyang. Yeah, we will see you next time. Thank you for watching.